Saw this in the news today. Alibaba reports record 9 billion sales in one day. This day in China is similar to Cyber Monday and Black Friday here in the US. Now, why do I want to talk about this website? Alibaba actually owns a couple websites. You have AliExpress, you have Alibaba.com, and early on I could tell, even back in like 2003 and 4, that this is where you need to go for the future of internet sales. And now Alibaba is one of the biggest companies in the world, if I recall. Yeah, the owner of Alibaba is the richest man in China, Jack Ma. Okay. Also the loneliest billionaire in the world, I guess. He's single. But, you know, I was thinking about making a website way back a few years ago that would kind of, actually about 4 or 5 years ago, that would kind of spearhead sort of integrating people buying, sellers buying from China. And obviously you can see where that's gone. It's become the biggest thing here online now. I was thinking the right direction. I'm still thinking about making a website like this and sort of trying to take on eBay, but I've just been so busy doing other stuff, you know. I've been trying to build other parts of my business and I just haven't had a chance. But this is the reason why I wanted to mention all this, is because this is where you need to go in the future. I think the future of online sales are going to be all in trying to bring these sales from China and other countries to America and to the UK and Australia and other Western countries. And if you can somehow get a piece of that action, you're in the right realm for the future of internet sales. I don't think eBay is the future of internet sales. I think they're going to be there. I think Amazon's going to be there, but I don't think they're the future. Kind of like, you know, how Facebook just came out of nowhere and took on Google and took its position, being side by side with Google with about the same amount of traffic. I think websites like AliExpress and related are sort of the new eBay and the new Amazon. And I think eBay's going to get, I think they're going to get defeated by some website soon like this. This is my theory on the whole thing. And this was sort of my plan of attack on how to sort of take my business to the next level. Right now I've been working on my dropship business, trying to grow it, and my residual income from Amazon commissions, and trying to also build this YouTube. This isn't my only YouTube account, by the way. This is my smallest YouTube account. I just started this like a few weeks ago or something. But I plan on growing this one huge as well. But I think also video online is very huge. It's an unexplored market for advertising, and I know people don't get it. And if I start talking about it, people are going to be like, I want to turn this off because it's boring. What are you talking about? Of course video is not the future. Yeah, it is, dude. It is. Trust me. It may not be you getting on YouTube and making videos, but it is in the future. I can guarantee it, because videos have more impact than text. So eventually videos and real communication, real-time chatting with customers is going to be sort of the future. Some sort of integration like that. Okay, I really do believe that's the case. I don't mean for everyday stuff. I mean, for everyday stuff, I mean, it's kind of like these checkout lines in the supermarkets. You know, you don't even want to deal with people because you already know what you're going to buy. But if it's for something that hasn't really caught on yet, you're going to see a lot more video presentation of it, a lot more video advertising online. And I think it's the most unexplored avenue right now online. And you're starting to see Google do this as well. Google AdWords, you're starting to see more video and things like this coming into AdWords. It's not just mere text anymore. It's kind of going to the next level already. But you know, if you could find a way to get in on this market, and of course there's a very simple way to do that, obviously drop ship from China to America, which is maybe what some of you want me to talk about, right? The only thing with this is you have to be very careful because there's a lot of bad products. So what I would recommend if you're going to go this route is first buy some for yourself. First, check out the suppliers, okay, and kind of test the waters. Some suppliers will lie to you from China. Some will not. I think it's less of them these days lie than back 5 years ago, based on my own experiences. But what you'll find out is that if you buy some items, buy them from guys that have been around for a while as well on these websites like DHgate and AliExpress and all these. Buy from guys that have been around for a while, because I can tell you, I know by name suppliers that have been around for over 5 years on these sites, and these guys are highly unlikely going to rip you off. They're not going to, send you some fake ass shit. Okay, now they're also less likely to lie to you. That's what I was saying. Back 5 years ago, you would have these scoundrels get on there and they'll sell you something, but you'll get something in the mail that might be different. But these days, it's more accurate. It's more accurate, but you should first buy one for yourself and check it out, and make sure obviously their feedback's really good. They've been around for a long time. And ask them questions before you buy it. Make sure it's what you're looking for. And, things that won't hurt or things you should really look for. Highly popular items, particularly like electronics based or accessories for electronics or accessories for cell phones or whatever. Or name brand items that are just straight up items that you would sell directly that are highly popular that are name brand. Oh, you can't get name brand from China. Yeah, right. Yeah, you can actually. Where the hell do you think all this shit's made? Think it's made by Keebler Elves in Finland? 'Cause I used to make sort of a joke about this because back, 5 years ago, I would sell Nokia cell phones, and there's a lot of idiots that think that stuff was made in Finland only. Okay, but back then it wasn't even made in Finland only. Most of it was made in China even back 5 years ago, because they had factories literally in like 10 countries. And most of it's been moved over to the third, I guess you would not, I don't know if you would say third world, but like the German factories moved to Romania. A lot of the work has been moved to China. They have like, was it 3 or 4 factories in China? I think they have 3 or 4, and then I think they have 2 still in Finland. My point is that all these companies move their work to China. Apple, at first, when it was making iPods and stuff, it had parts coming from many different countries, and it was being assembled in China. And then now most of the parts come from China and are assembled in China. Nintendo and all these guys are made at Foxconn. You can get tons of brand name items from China. They just don't like you doing it. Now, and then of course there's also fakes, so you have to be very careful in both respects. So you got fakes, and then you also got some companies are retarded about it, and they don't want you to sell their products online, and they'll like on eBay, they'll your listings, verified rights owners. And technically, you can counter-vero them back and then give them a month to sue you, which they won't sue you. Highly unlikely they'll sue you. But they might just do it again after you list again, because you'll have the right to list again after that. So this is kind of how the whole thing works. I used to import a lot all at one time from China, back before they even had AliExpress, before they even had any of these websites. I imported like $10,000-$12,000 worth of guitars, $10,000-$12,000 worth of car audio, freaking on a ship, freight, big huge cargo thing. I was doing that back in like 2001 and selling it on eBay. And that's around the time when Fender moved their facilities over to China, and people are still completely stupid about all this and think all this stuff's made in America or Finland or, some elves in the North Pole or whatever. No. Okay, they're made by Chinese people that come from the freaking villages looking for work in the big city in Shenzhen and other cities in China. And they work for hardly nothing. They literally use toothpicks to hold their eyes open in some factories. I've seen videos of this. Working huge amounts of hours. They live, eat, drink, sleep in the same facility. They have a very, not too huge room, kind of like a dormitory you would see in college, with a couple beds on top of each other that a bunch of people, 3 or 4 people, share a room like that. And these are the people making your stuff. Yeah, that's how it works. Of course, it's not as bad as back in the old days. In the 90s, they'd have freaking sweatshops. Robert Kiyosaki was talking about that. He quit selling. He had a Velcro wallet business, and he sold it off because he couldn't accept it. He couldn't accept who they were using and the conditions they were using to make the product. Okay, see, at first he had the Velcro wallet business, and I think they were made maybe originally in America, the wallets, and then he didn't trademark it properly, and a bunch of dudes came in and started copying him, and they were they were getting factories overseas, Indonesia or wherever. And so he had to do the same thing. But then he went and visited some of these factories making his wallets. And okay, imagine this. You got like a 9-foot ceiling, in your house. Imagine that floor being cut in half. So it's like 4.5 foot. They would have workers on both floors, hunched over like this, sniffing glue the whole time while they're making these wallets. No safety protocols, nothing, And he saw that, and he was like, oh my goodness, I can't stand this. I have to get out of this business. It's not like that now, Obviously they have a bunch of laws in place in China now. You can't do, crazy stuff like they could in the old days. So they have their rights, and of course, I'm sure that people are not always treated fairly, and of course they're probably being overworked in some places. But, it's better than it was in the old days. Let's just put it that way. And I don't know why I got onto that. But the point is that most stuff's made in China. Walmart pushed them all over there. You might not know that either. It's Walmart that pushed all the jobs overseas. You didn't know that, did you? Yeah, that's the reason why you don't have jobs here anymore. Walmart literally forced all these companies to move their operations overseas. They didn't even want to. Okay? Most of them didn't want to do it. Huffy Bikes, all these companies were forced by Walmart to move their jobs overseas. Why? Because they had to lower their prices or Walmart would get rid of them. And if they wouldn't lower their prices, they would find a competitor who would do it. And Walmart was such a big buyer that you couldn't say no to them. So they, in turn, had to move their facilities over to other countries. And this is how a lot of it happened. Now, not all these companies were, not exactly. Some of these companies were already doing it themselves without Walmart pushing them, like Nike and stuff. But at any rate, I don't know, I'm giving you a history lesson here. But the point is that this is a good way to make money, but you have to be very careful. You have to buy the stuff, make sure it's good quality, do some test runs, sell it on eBay and Amazon, see how it goes. If it goes good, you've got a winner. And then slowly build it up and expand it. It's kind of like you get it running right, then add another product. Do the same thing, do some trials. First test the thing, make sure it's not even bad in the first place, then do some trials. Make sure the customer is happy. Iron out whatever you need to iron out, and then expand on it and increase it. And of course, eBay and Amazon expect you to do that anyways because of the way they treat new sellers or sellers that have new products. Is they expect you to You not go gangbusters and sell a ton off the bat, but to slowly work it in and figure it out. They're concerned about it as well. So you work it in, take your time, build it all up, and this is a good way to make some good money online. Okay, sort of a no-brainer way to do it. And then you're selling the same item over and over. You don't have to make new advertisements. You don't have to go search for product at Goodwill or whatever. This way you can just keep reselling the same thing over and over. It's not a lot of work in that respect. So, and this is one of the things I do. Of course, there's also finding other ways to make money with Chinese business, with business coming from China to America, because China is sort of the new America when it comes to business, for expanding business. It's past the Wild West stage, but there's a lot of money to be made in China. In America, we're kind of going downhill, and with some of the policies that have been in place lately, don't expect America to, become super awesome anytime soon. Of course, it would be nice if it did, don't get me wrong, but let's just say I'm not super optimistic when I'm looking at it rationally, from a business standpoint. So, you might as well go where the money is, and you have to be smarter than the other guy and think of ways you can benefit from this. Maybe you could have your own system set up, like I'm saying here, or even do something bigger. Maybe you could start your own line of products and have a factory sort of take it and white label it, and that would work quite well. There's a lot of companies that do that, and they have TV infomercials, and they sell it like crazy. In style of rotating hot iron, a bunch of these, whatever products you see on TV these days. I'm thinking of just some weird ones, that from the old days. But this is all good stuff you can do too. There's a lot of interesting products that come out, and then you can put your own brand on it, throw it up on TV, or go crazy with it on Amazon ads or something, sell it like crazy. That's another idea. And then you can get a bunch of people buying from you in America, get some sellers for your product in America. It's an idea. Maybe buy a factory over there if you got a lot of money, If you know what you're doing. I would do a lot of research before I do anything like that, because you can easily lose all your money if you don't know what the hell you're doing. And I've seen a lot of people do that over here in America, buying something that's supposedly ironclad, but they don't know what the hell they're doing, and they lose all their money. Like some of these franchises. They buy a franchise, and they buy the cheaper lot, because they don't have a lot of money. They don't have a lot of money to spend. They buy the cheaper lot where nobody freaking goes and drives. And then they lose all their money. I've heard of many stories like that. You have to be really smart with anything, even if it's an ironclad franchise like McDonald's. You got to know what the hell you're doing, So always do your research. But this is where the money is. If you're trying to make money online, this is where it is. Okay? Anyway, just some ideas off the top of my head there.